mission, I was really excited to see what the missionaries do and live with them, so that way I knew how to prepare myself better for my mission. But I was also pretty nervous because I didn't know who they were. I didn't know exactly what to expect because I've never done anything like this before.
Well, before I went on my mission, I was kind of nervous because I wasn't really sure what to expect. Before I left, they told me that I was going to be doing quite a bit of service projects, and so I was kind of excited to be doing something that I didn't really think that a missionary normally did, on an everyday basis. But it was such a wonderful experience to be able to be with the missionaries, and it really kind of changed my perspective of what missionaries are like.
Kind of anticipating it, I didn't know what to expect, but overall I was excited, a little bit nervous for what lied ahead, but my brother's on a mission, so it was exciting to be able to relate to him.
My missionary companions were awesome. When I got there, they welcomed me in, they showed me around the apartment, and then they told me what they were doing for the day. They saved the daily planning for the morning of when I got there so that way I could do it with them. And they were just really nice. They welcomed me in, and I felt like I was at home.
Well, as soon as I got there, the missionary companions that I were with, they really welcomed me in and made me feel like I was welcome there and that they're really going to take care of me. And all of the different things that they did, they always, informed me of what we were doing and why we were doing it, and I really felt like they really wanted to take care of me and made sure I had a really wonderful experience.
They were super nice. I got along better with one more than the other, but overall we all were united by the end, and I loved them.
Yeah, the first night I got there, we went over to the stake president's house, and his son just got back from Russia, and they prepared this weird Russian soup. It ended up being okay, but it made me kind of nervous at first.
Probably the weirdest thing that I ate while I was on my mini mission was we went to this Thai place, and they had this coconut and lime soup with like chicken and noodles and all these vegetables in it, and it was very interesting, and wasn't really used to it, but it was actually pretty good, so it was definitely the weirdest thing I ate.
Well, the missionaries that I was with, they called it tomato sandwiches, and my parents, when I got home, I told them about it, and they're like, oh, well, we have those all the time, but I had no idea what they were.
One thing that I learned to help me prepare for my regular mission is to re-preach my gospel, and it's because everything you need to teach as a missionary is in Preach My Gospel, and as I was watching the missionaries teach, I saw that as I was reading it for personal study.
I learned a lot of different teaching skills, different ways to approach people about the gospel, and rather than just going out and saying something, it was more of like you guide them through it and really teach by the Spirit, and that was something that I really wanted to focus and work on while I was on my mini mission. I really was able to do that.
I learned that relying on the Spirit is key on your mission. Even in the hardest of times and the best of times, you need the Spirit to either help you or help someone else. I also learned that you need to learn patience with your companions and with the people you teach. Sometimes it's hard to go up to someone and teach them and have them not take what you have to heart. And so you need to learn patience and learn to rely on the Spirit. Those are two key things I learned.
Unforgettable.
First would probably be hard work. There was a lot of things that we had to do, throughout the day, getting up early and going on tracting and visiting with members and doing service projects. And but the second, I would say, would be rewarding, because there was such a wonderful feeling that you get after you'd finish teaching a family, or you'd share a missionary moment with a non-member and an active member, and I could really feel the Spirit, and it really kind of made me really excited about going on a mission in the future.
I would have to say it'd be spiritually exciting.
The time I felt the Spirit the most was probably when we were teaching this new investigator. Her name was Lainey, and she just thought about rechanging her whole life. She said she was doing some not so good things earlier, but she turned her whole life around, and we taught her what the Book of Mormon is, because no one's ever told her about that before, and we got to just teach her about, the basics of our church, and she was really excited, and she's going to be baptized now.
One of the best experiences that I had when I was on my mini mission was we were teaching this elderly lady about the gospel, and she was a non-member, and she had her different beliefs, and while we were sharing it to her, she originally was kind of hard-hearted, and she didn't really want to believe in anything that we were saying, but by the end of the appointment, she really was open to what we were saying, and I could really tell that she had been touched by the Spirit, and it really brought her heart closer to Christ, and she was able to feel the wonderful Spirit that we had to share with her.
There was a time, it was my last day there, and we were knocking doors on these apartments, and we knocked on a door, and this lady came to the door, and we talked to her for an hour and a half. She invited us in and just told us about her Mormon background and her religion prior to that, and we got her to come to church that Sunday, and I felt the Spirit so strong. It was great to be able to know that I had a part in her coming back to the church. I don't know how she is today, but I know that the Spirit testified to me that what she was doing was right, and that's what really touched me.